Hello and welcome to Infinite Reflections Tarot. We have a new moon in Scorpio coming up this weekend, 27th and 28th. And we're also coming to the end, we just entered Scorpio season. We're coming to the end of the year as well and getting closer and closer to this Saturn-Pluto exact conjunction coming in 2020. And I'm just feeling a lot of dark, heavy energy, but like some deep karmic retributions as well, and the whole world is experiencing this. And I don't know, I'm just feeling a call. I did a deep meditation session yesterday and got some really, really interesting messages that kind of left me thinking all day long about what the world is going through in general, what humanity's going through, what our souls are experiencing. And I wanted to connect with my guardian angels and Archangel Metatron and pull together just a collective message, anything that will be helpful for the collective, moving into this, what intentions we should be setting for this new moon in Scorpio to help get us through to the end of the year and this Saturn-Pluto conjunction. I feel like this new moon in Scorpio is really significant because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. And we've got a big event coming in 2020. New moons are all about the new start that we're working on. So it's about manifesting that new beginning. And this will be something related to karmic cycles and deep fears and deep pains and relationships. And the other big, we had the eclipse that happened in Capricorn back in July, and I feel like it's connected. So whatever epiphanies you may have had back in July of this year, those need to be coupled with whatever epiphanies or feelings or emotions that are coming through with this new moon. Scorpio is much more about emotion, depth, investigation. So I feel like this moon is about emotions, emotional experiences that you've had. Whereas the eclipse in Capricorn was about, Capricorn's very unemotional. So that's about the logic of what you're wanting to move forward into, the thoughts, the ideas, where you're wanting to put the work in. So now we're coupling that epiphany of what we're wanting to work towards with what's going to make us emotionally feel at our best and healing both of those areas of our life. So I'm just asking that Spirit pulls any cards. I had two cards come out of the deck already, which just totally speak to what's going on right now. But so the first one is the Fool. So this is about us getting ready to go into a fresh new beginning, which new moons always are. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is about a new cycle that's about to start. And I feel like this new cycle is going to be really, really good. The universe, everything has to be in balance. So if you've been going through a really crappy time this year and you feel like karma's just been against you, once we finish out this year and that's cleaned out, there's going to be this fresh new start to walk into that's going to be full of happiness and good vibes. And let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, we've got the Death card here. This is the card of Scorpio. Death is all about letting parts of yourself heal and die off so that you can be done with them and walking into something new. The sun is rising on the horizon, but you have to let parts of yourself go. So maybe where the Capricorn eclipse was all about what we want to bring into our life, these exciting new beginnings we want to bring in. I think this new moon in Scorpio, it's interesting because even though it's a new moon, which is about what we want to bring in, it's like what we want to bring in is we want to welcome in death, welcome in new beginnings, welcome in this idea of being able to let things go, getting past the guilt, getting past the shame, forgiveness. Like that's what we want to be welcoming in with this new cycle so that we can, start anew once again and manifest those feelings and ideas we were having back in July of this year when that eclipse in Capricorn took place. And so I think the rest of this year is supposed to really be about thinking about what we're not going to be anymore, thinking about what we are going to forgive in ourselves and in others, thinking about how different aspects of our life make us feel, thinking and reflecting on the memories in our past, the experiences that we've had that may have been painful to go through, and just healing all of that emotional, dark emotional energy, letting it all go so that we're ready for this fresh new beginning that's going to come with this Saturn and Pluto conjunction in January of 2020. And it's going to relate to an epiphany or thoughts that would have been going through our mind back in July of this year. And those things should have also been connected to something going back to like childhood, like that purpose. You know how children, I don't know, most children have an idea or something they're excited about becoming when they grow up. It's connecting those things, connecting to your true soul's purpose, compared to, man, what have I been doing the past, decade or 35 years that's not in line with that, with what I was as a child, with what I was excited to be and do as a child. So here we have Ace of Cups. So that's emotions, a new emotional beginning. But we have to really we've just got to let it flow. So this is not a time, Scorpio is an emotional sign. And it's not afraid of the depths of the darkness that can come with emotions. So this is about digging into your shadow side, your shadow self, the part of yourself that you want to hide, that pain that you don't want to confront, and about confronting it so that we can have this really beautiful emotional release. So this new moon is about welcoming the dark emotions, welcoming the confrontations that we have been locking inside for years. Because once we let it out and confront it, it can no longer grow anymore. Hanged Man, spiritual growth, sitting and reflecting, not actively doing anything yet. So those plans that came to mind in July, or whatever realizations that came to mind, they would have been things that excited you, that got you excited and ready to go or start planning. Right now, this isn't a time, new moon in Scorpio is not a time to start going after those things necessarily, not bring it to fruition yet, but a time to really sit back, reflect, take in this new perspective now that this emotional release is being welcomed in. Wow, this is crazy, you guys. So I've had 5 jumper cards so far, and 4 out of the 5 are major arcana. That is a huge deal. And then we've got an ace. This is beautiful. This is so amazing. So this new moon in Scorpio, reflect and think about, here we've got 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles is Mercury and Virgo. This is about feeling abundant. This is about looking back on your life and being able to look at it with a perspective of abundance. Sometimes it's like, you notice this woman, she's in her garden and she has these pentacles growing. The energy, the message I'm getting here from this is that if this garden hadn't been tended to, if she was ignoring the weeds, because she's like, no, weeds are bad. I don't want to deal with weeds. I don't want to admit that I have weeds. I don't want to spend time on the weeds. What would happen is those weeds would have been covering up all of these pentacles around her from view. And so she would have been feeling much less abundant than what she actually is in reality, simply because she hasn't clipped away the weeds. She hasn't dealt with the darkness. So that's what this time is about. It's about clipping away all the weeds, and then there's going to be the weeds being your dark emotions, your dark experiences, the need to forgive, the need to heal. Clipping all of that away, confronting it head on with a boldness and a tenacity and with a strength. And at the end, you're going to have this newfound sense of, oh my God, I didn't realize how beautiful my life really was. It's like everything's going to be put into perspective, this new perspective. You know, he's looking at things upside down now, and he's like, oh wow, okay, I'm seeing things that I didn't see before, because now I'm, you know, hanging upside down. I'm seeing it all from a different perspective. But you have to clip away those weeds, and that's when that, you know, Mercury is all about perspective. What you're perceiving, the circumstances that you're in, what you think about it, how you communicate about it. So this this new moon in Scorpio it's all about that. It's interesting because, like I touched on before, most new moons are about, I'm just going to hold these up as I talk so you can get a look at these. Most new moons are about, you know, talking about what you want to manifest into your life. And it's typically physical things like a new job, a new relationship. This new moon in Scorpio is really about manifesting a healing, manifesting a release, manifesting in you know, your shadow side so that you can confront it, manifesting, you know, calling anything that's dark or deep within you, anything that might be hurting, thinking through like bad habits that you have. Bad habits are all connected to something emotional that occurred years ago. And when something emotional has occurred with us that was negative, that was never dealt with, never thought about, never confronted, it does manifest itself outwardly in our physical world. So even things that you may think are silly and unimportant, like I'm never able to wake up, I'm never able to get anywhere on time, I'm never able to get my house organized, I'm never able to, you know, keep my diet what it should be, I'm never able to whatever, I'm never able to create deep, meaningful relationships, whatever it is, that goes back deep. And so this Scorpio new moon is about really like connecting all the dots, welcoming that journey in, not being judgmental about it, just being really, Scorpio is an investigator. That's what Scorpio is. It's an investigator. If there's a murder, Scorpio is going to solve it. They're connecting all the clues and dots. That's what we're confronting right now. There's a murder in your life, something negative, okay? This is hypothetical. There's a murder in your life, and murders don't just happen. You don't just look at someone that has been murdered and say, oh, well, you know, it's just a murdered body. Oh, it's just a bad habit. No. There's a trail of things that are connected to and leading up to that negative thing. It's not just what it is. It's not just a bad habit. Nothing in life ever is. There's a trail that needs to be investigated and uprooted. Uproot those weeds so that this new beginning can occur. Let's see if I'm seeing any synchronicities. We've got a 3, a 4, 0, 1, 3, 4, and 9. So 9 is all about that last push, or that it's, so 10s are the end of a cycle, okay? So the 10 for us, which is here, is going to be at this Saturn-Pluto conjunction in January. So the Scorpio new moon is all about the 9. 9s in tarot are all about that moment to kind of pause and reflect before the final push through, which is the 10. And so that's the moment that we're in right now in this Scorpio new moon. It's just about pausing and reflecting on this cycle as a whole, on our life over the past 35 years, the past decade, whatever. And really reflecting, tending to the final touches, you know, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, so that we end this cycle on, so that we can end the cycle. If we don't do those things, then we're holding this cycle back. It's coming to us either way. So if we want it to be something that's positive and a new beginning, and if we don't want to interfere with the universe, interfere with destiny, and pull ourselves back from the cycle, that's the work that needs to be done here. 1, we have a 0, a 1, a 3, and a 4. Yeah. So it's interesting. We don't have any, you know, synchronicities with the numbers, but let me look at the energies here on the card. We've got Scorpio and Mars, so taking action. Scorpio and Mars here on this card, and Pluto. So this is about actively doing something to confront the Scorpio energies in your life, your dark feelings and emotions, your shadow side, so that they can end, so they can be done. Okay? This is all about water energy. That's what the Hanged Man is. He's water energy. So again, emotions. This is all about emotions. We've got a ton of emotional cards here. This is Mercury in Virgo. Virgo's all about the details, the small things that most of us don't notice. And so we don't take care of it because we don't even notice it. We don't think it's something that's important. Mercury is about your perspective. So really changing your perspective, deciding to take a hard look at the details and clean those things up, pull those weeds out of the garden. You notice here that she's also talking to, or she has a little pet bird. I don't know why I'm feeling called to say this, but I think a lot of us right now, a good way to tap into our emotions is connecting with animals. Animals are such, they show us what unconditional love truly is. And so getting more connected with our pets and our animals might help us through this time. Wheel of Fortune, this is Sagittarius, Jupiter energy. This is about expansion, moving on, traveling into something new, graduating to the next level. Ace of Cups, again, water, pure water energy, just like the Hanged Man. Again, we've got a bird here. So for some of us, there may be communication that needs to occur, messages that need to be sent. And I'm not getting like direct messages, okay? I feel like this is more in the form of like writing out a letter to get out all of these emotions. Write a letter and mail it to the person, or perhaps don't. Write a letter just to get it off of your chest, save that message for yourself, or burn it, you know, in a ceremony to release it. And then we have the Fool, which again, he has the little pet dog here. So this is really about getting it. Animals are all about unconditional love. They show us what unconditional love is, and that's what this time is really about. Unconditional love for ourselves, for others, and taking a hard look at the cycles in our life that have led us up to this place. Finally, ending the bad habits or the negative tendencies of our mind, whether it be depression, anxiety, problems in our relationships, cycles that you notice. This is a time to reflect on, okay, these are the cycles I continue to get myself into over and over and over again. And I'm going to finally stop this and take a look at why this continues happening. What is it that goes back 35 years, back to my childhood, that is connected to the repetition of these cycles? So that's what you're going to be noticing right now is, you know what, no matter what I do, no matter how many times I think I've moved on from this, it keeps coming back. This cycle of being late, the cycle of getting into debt or overspending, the cycle of broken relationships, the cycle of shame, the cycle of guilt. That's what this time is all about. And back of the deck energy, Six of Swords. So what we're going to be doing, if we accept this energy and really embrace it and work through it, Six of Swords is about gathering up the things that mean most to you, gathering up all the lessons that you've learned, because of course those are important, but moving away from this turbulent time and towards calm waters with the things that you love most. And this is Mercury energy too here. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking, I misspoke on this card. This Nine of Pentacles, this is Venus in Virgo. Venus is about love, what you love in your life. And being able to feel that love again. Ace of Cups is a very loving energy too. So this is the Mercury energy here. Changing the perspective, changing the scenery around you. So I don't know why I just felt called to bring forth a message about the Scorpio new moon and how it's connected to the Saturn-Pluto conjunction and the Capricorn eclipse we had back in July. And I hope this was helpful. Of course, I always say if there's anything that resonated with you, anything that you would like me to expand on, I would certainly do a second video. But that's all I'm getting right now. So Six of Cups energy, Scorpio. Sun in Scorpio, which is what we're in right now. I love this card. I love Sun in Scorpio, because where we think of Scorpio as something really, really dark, you know, Scorpio is not afraid of the darkness, but that's also why Scorpio can bring such light, such a childlike, energy to those that embrace it and dig up all that darkness. That's when this nostalgic energy is going to come back. You know, looking back on the past with this fondness, this nostalgia, this gratefulness for what we have. This is a time that's about connecting with the people in your life that have really mentored you and supported you in a wonderful way, and childhood friends or family. But yeah, digging into that past and uprooting some things from it so that healing can occur. So God bless you all. I'm really looking forward to this new moon. I'm feeling a lot of dark, heavy energy, but energy that I'm ready to confront and uproot. So God bless.